right, we are live. We're live. We'll give it just a few moments before we get started, just to give some folks some time to chime on in.
Saying, Uncle Ma, a bit, Uncle Ma.
Maat, Uncle Maat, yeah, Motep a bit.
And my God, to the family.
To the family, an effort to see you both here. We'll give it a moment for some folks to tune in. I do want to actually, I'll give it a few moments before I say that. Actually, I'll make that during announcements, so we'll see who chimes in. That's kind of exciting for our Sundays. Some things that I have to mention to folks. So, I always get ahead of myself and want to tell it all. So let me shut up and not say that part. Not say that part. I can't. My daughter and my husband have it honestly, because, as we're waiting for a little while, just a little brief conversation. So, my family that are not, in the Kemetic, well, actually, it's just me that's a Kemetic practitioner or any African centered practices. So they still, celebrate Christmas and things like that, which is for me, it doesn't bother me because I celebrate family. So anytime you get a chance to do that, I do that. But my daughter is just like my husband. When we were kids and we would get gifts, my mom, we would never know where they were, and we would not get our gifts until Christmas morning. We were allowed to open one gift on Christmas Eve, and it usually wasn't something that the so-called Santa Claus got. My husband will go out Christmas shopping, and it could be the beginning of December, but he's so like a kid, he can't wait. You want your gift? You want your gift? Well, my daughter does the same thing. So she apparently went out and got a gift yesterday or the other day. She walks in the house and she's got this little look on her face, and she's like, went away. She disappeared and came back with a little box talking about Merry Christmas. I'm like, it's not Christmas. What do you? So she got me this. I don't know if you can see it. It is a Pandora bracelet.
Right.
And she was so thoughtful. She was like, I was thinking of Kemetic things and what I could get, what kind of charms I could get. She was like, and I know your favorite color is red. And when I researched, I seen there was a lot of red in there. So she got a red heart charm. She got one of my favorite things, which is the tree of life. And then one is a split heart that says, one side it says daughter and one side says mother. So
Oh,
sweet. I love it. I love it.
cute. And the fact that she even considered like your
Yeah,
spirituality.
she always thinks about, like, my daughter thinks outside the box. Even my whole family, when they think of gifts for like any type of gift for me, they always consider that. So it's interesting how majority of the ones that are spiritual are Christians, but when they consider a gift for me, they actually consider that, and they actually think about it that way and try to get things that are aligned with that. So I think that that's very it's very cool. My family's supportive, even those that are devout Christians. You know what I mean? You got to remember when we had our head keparoo, my aunt came and she's devout Christian. I'm talking about straight, but she was there in support. You know what I mean? To do that because my mom, was before she had passed away, but my mom was incapable of traveling. So she came on her behalf, and it meant a lot for her to be there, like to look to see all the things that we were doing. And like I said, this woman, devout Christian, like there's no change in her mind. Even if you show her something that's true, it wouldn't change her mind. You know what I mean? But she was there in support. So I'm honored to have a family that supports whatever anyone in the family chooses to do. They're supportive with love. There's no judgment in our family. It's always been like that. So pretty good. It's pretty cool.
That's sweet.
And I never have to go to events and force feed them anything. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
it's wonderful. All right, guys. I think we can go ahead and get started. It is now 9:37, so let's go ahead and do what we do. Today's Sinet Oye is going to lead us in the opening of the way.
Okay.
Don't worry, I could do it with my sling. once everybody is ready and in position, I'm facing the east today. I still got to work on the whole north and aspect of it, but for today, I'm gonna face the east. All right, I want you to take 3 deep breaths. We're gonna start on breath one. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Inhale, exhale, and now chant the word of life. Ankh. Anishrak in bedhet,
Electric in the head,
bedhet.
nuke in the head,
Anishrak happy, nuke
electric copy,
happy.
nuke copy,
Twelve enter. Anishrak circuit,
electric circuit,
nuke circuit.
nuke circuit,
Anishrak duamutef,
electric duamutef,
nuke duamutef.
nuke duamutef,
Twelve enter. Turn it around. Anishrak ast,
electric us,
nuke ast.
nuke us,
Anishrak amset,
electric set,
nuke amset.
nuke set.
Twelve enter. Anishrak neat,
Electric meat,
nuke neat.
nuke meat. Two,
I got stuck. The
That was
whole
Duamotep, but you can say Kepsanu since we didn't say it.
yes. Okay. Um, Anishrak Kepsanu.
and I tried
Twau enter. Anishrak Newt.
Anishrak Newt.
Nuke,
Newt.
Newt.
nuke,
Anishrak Geb.
electric, yeah,
Nuke Geb.
nuke, yeah.
Twau enter. Anishrak Shu.
Shoot, shoot, shoot,
Shu.
shoot,
Shu.
shoot.
Nuke Shu. Anishrak Tef Newt.
Tef,
Tef Newt.
Tef,
Tef
Tef,
Newt.
Tef,
Tef Newt. Tef Newt.
Nuke,
Twau enter. Anishrak Paut and Teru.
and I tried pound,
Nuke Paut and Teru. Anishrak Ambu and Teru.
I tried boom,
Nuke Ambu and Teru. Twau enter. Now, chant the life funk. Twau enter.
Dua. Dua for that. All
I
right.
say normally I'll be embarrassed, but I'm not even embarrassed.
Nope. I feel like if I miss a letter, I'll do it on the next turn. You know what I mean? So I think that yes, do I, and nice voice. Another thing we're gonna work on because you was on the Hesse team. We're gonna work on that. So on some of these Sundays we can come up in here with some Hesse.
Okay.
For sure. All right, do our for that. Let us get started, and we will say, of course, as we give honor to Baba Heru, Dua Baba Heru Ankra Sabat Sepata Ma'ak Heru, opener of the way, bearer of Ma'at, custodian of the Ankh. We continue the ritual which you have brought to its current formation to honor your legacy as we continue to lift your legacy. Dua, dua, dua. All right. Let us go ahead and get started with our 4 breaths of life for mind, spirit, heart, and of course to exhale. All right, let's start with the first one. Take our first breath. And that one there is to clear our mind. And our second is to cleanse our spirit. Our third, to lighten our heart. Fourth and final, as we inhale ma'at and exhale ifset. I awake to live in ma'at. I align my thoughts, words, and actions with ma'at. Dua, dua. All right. So we set the feather. Now on to our reading. Today's reading will be from the Husia. Now, before we get into the reading, just so you all know, most of the time we tell you we don't rehearse this, which we don't. But this particular, and typically Himnetter Waziri picks our reading. But this has been laying on my heart ever since our the experience with the celebration of life with Baba Hrw's Samaj Sepatah's celebration of life from last weekend. All of those who were there, it was amazing, amazing to see you all. Some of you who I had not ever met physically, I got a chance to meet and make some amazing networks. It was, I mean, Sinet Oye, you were there. Himnetter Wasiri, you were there. It was, even those who saw the images and the videos, I know you all saw how beautiful it was, but it was something, you know. In fact, before we even do the reading, we'll go around so everybody can just kind of share their experience that they had. But I want to just say the unity, something that Baba Hrw spoke of for many, many years. A lot of you all knew him way more than I did. I got the opportunity to literally meet him once, although I was in his presence quite a few times. But because of Sinet Oye forcing me to stop being a chicken, I actually got to meet him. But that celebration was a memorial that I don't think I've ever experienced. And I've experienced some very beautiful memorials. But the unity, all of the Kemetic communities and African-centered communities were together. There was no division. There was ego didn't exist in any of those, Saturday or Sunday. There wasn't any ego. There wasn't I'm right, or I'm strong, I'm higher, I'm lower. The equality in the unity from the elders to the young. I met young 19-year-old, 20-year-old practitioners who are really delving into reviving this legacy. I met elders, some that were up in their 80s, a lady that was almost 100. I think we had somebody there that was 100, a little over 100. It was, priests from all different kinds of Kemetic, Kemetic legacies. I met women, divine women who, originally were priests and on carriers under Baba Hrw, made these connections, got phone numbers, got to literally sit at the feet, even if it was just a moment. For some of these people, the event was so divine. It's hard to explain the emotion. I'm still hard to believe that a week has passed already. I still feel like I'm there. You know what I mean? So while that energy is still high and Baba's spirit is really high in so many of us, I think now is one of the crucial times that as a community, not just in the Shrine of Ma'at, but as a community, we need to seize this opportunity and unifying, creating a true Smai Taiwi unity, the upper and lower, lands of Kemet, and coming together and really galvanizing the emotions while they're high before they die down. So I think that that's, it was an experience that I'll never forget, ever forget. Um, Himnetter, how about you? How was your experience?
Well, like you said, it was really exciting to see everybody coming together. So and the fact that we had all of the Kemetic communities and a lot of the African communities, the people is coming together. That was very close and emotional for me. So I saw people that I haven't seen in a long time, but for us to be together, so that was the unity that was brought forth, and the fact that we brought forth the unity with the from the Shrine of Mahat and other communities. That was really exciting.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. How about you, Sinette? Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, the whole thing to me was like beautiful. It was high vibrational. Like everybody's energies were high, and everybody was just excited to be in fellowship and to come together to celebrate the great Hrw. But also, to me, what was amazing was him Netter Wasiri, because he came in, he was stepping in, and we all know that, like, health wise, you're dealing with some things, but for you to be in the building, you did not let nothing stop you from being in that building that day. You showed up and you showed out, and that was a big thing for me. It just meant a lot. I don't know why, it just did, to see you in the place, because I'm like, if you're here, whatever I'm going through, it's no reason why I can't be here either, I guess, maybe. But that just was a big thing for me. It was like a high point for me to see you walk through with your cane. You was looking all suave, him better. So it was that. And then also, the one thing that I really enjoyed was, I believe it was the Shrine of Bess, when they did the little dance, with the drums and stuff. Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and the ceremony of the is that what it's called?
The when they did the opening of the mouth.
Yes, the opening of the mouth. Yes.
Man, oh my goodness. I mean, even the WAB priests, that were in the front,
Mm-hmm.
sending folks as they were coming in, it was like everything was just it was. Then when they did the opening of the way, you could feel like the vibration from
Definitely.
everybody chanting. It was amazing. It was really amazing. The vibration was extremely high, extremely high.
Exactly. And like to see it in person, like it's different. Like you really feel the energy in the building and stuff
Oh
like
yeah.
that. And to see some of those rituals I've never seen before, I'm like, okay, well, I want to learn how to do it. I want to learn.
Mhm.
You know, whose feet do I need to sit at? To get some of that. Those rituals or whatever, to learn
Absolutely.
those rituals or whatever.
It was exciting to see rituals actually. Yes, not
Yeah.
just reading about, but seeing how symbolic and how they basically mimic the text that we read. And they did a
Hmm.
really, really, really good job. Hemet Netter Anika with the wings.
Yes.
I mean,
She was
it
so
was
beautiful, so
yes,
bright, beautiful.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. It was amazing. It was amazing. Which is why I and again, typically I don't choose the reading. We don't rehearse it, but that is why this reading set on my heart all week. And I'd asked Hemnet or Waziri last night, would it be okay that we read this text today? I'm going to put it on the board here, coming from the Husia, Wisdom of Ancient Egypt. This is the Book of Dialogue with the Soul. We're going to be reading page 80, just sections 1 and 2. Um, and the reason that this was on my heart, because after seeing so much unity last weekend, I started to think about what was going on before last weekend and what goes on after um, a celebration of life, or a birth, or a wedding, anything of high energy. What was going on in our community before and after? The disunity, the difference in things, that we see, and nothing specific, but how we can come together for something like that, which was very important for those people, for all of us to come together and honor Baba. But how it is regularly, how it is on a regular basis. Many of us are trying to keep our shrines together. We do things like what we do here. We have a lot of members that are doing different things. We have people that are doing, like Sin Jason and Sin Ampu doing, trying to host Sabayit, just different things that we're all making attempts to do to keep this legacy alive and well, and not to let the candle, so to speak, burn out. So I was thinking about all of those things, and the differences, and the, how we do know that certain rituals and things that we practice should be sacred in the different shrine houses, but just the disunity where you don't see a lot of come togetherness unless it's something like that. In that space, there was no differences. People led and followed and led without even being told to. You know what I mean? You kind of look and see that there was a need. You say, well, what can I do? And they tell, nobody, and this was men, women, there was nobody with this authority of like, you're going to do what I say. Even Sanjeti, due out to him for putting, being the head of that committee and putting all that together with all on his plate. He didn't stand up there with a chip on his shoulder and say, I. It was a collective of leaders and followers, both. There was a moment that even you, Sinet Oye, had to lead. There was a moment that you had to follow. There was a moment I had to lead something and follow. Whatever the case may have been, there was no question of what's to be done. It's just doing. It was doing. We had our security there, Seba or Koku and his crew. I mean, it was, everybody just did what they needed to do, which should be the norm all the time. We shouldn't be at discourse with who's right and who's wrong, and a lot of ego and different things like that. So that led me to what we are reading today. Himnetter, would you like to read it, or do you want me to read it?
I'll let you read it.
Okay, and then we can discuss it. Again, this is page 80. This is the Book of Dialogue with the Soul. I spoke to my soul that I might answer what it said. To whom shall I speak today? Brothers and sisters are evil, and friends today are not worth loving. Hearts are great with greed, and everyone seizes his or her neighbor's goods. Kindness has passed away, and violence is imposed on everyone. To whom shall I speak today? People willingly accept evil, and goodness is cast to the ground everywhere. Those who should be enraged by people and their wrongdoing make them laugh at their evil deeds. People plunder, and everyone seizes his or her neighbor's goods. To whom shall I speak today? The one doing wrong is an intimate friend, and the brother with whom one used to deal is an enemy. No one remembers the past, and none return to the good deed that is done. Brothers and sisters are evil, and people turn to strangers for righteousness or affection. To whom shall I speak today? Faces are empty, and all turn their faces from their brothers and sisters. Hearts are great with greed, and there is no heart of a man or a woman upon which one might lean. None are just or righteous, and the land is left to the doers of evil. To whom shall I speak today? There's no intimate friends, and the people turn to strangers to tell their troubles. None are content, and those with whom one used to walk no longer exist. I am burdened with grief and have no one to comfort me. There's no end to the wrong which roams the earth. I'll shade to the reading and we'll end it there. Now, I say that because, again, that vision of unity where we can lean on each other. We can call on each other when our hearts are troubled. When Himnetter Waziri is sick, and doesn't need to tell everybody and no one's checking on them? Why do we need to wait until one of our brothers and sisters is sick to check on them? Why aren't we checking on each other? Why aren't we seeing how each other are doing? Why aren't we reaching out to other shrines and people that we've networked with to say, hey, how you doing? For nothing at all, not because we want something, but why are we not doing that? Why are we not calling an old family member that we haven't spoke to in a while just to say, hey, how you doing? Thinking about you. To whom shall we speak to? Why are we posting all of our troubles on Facebook? Facebook knows you not, but it's there to judge you. To whom shall we speak to? So we have this community of family. Why are we not reaching out to each other? Why do we not have the hands of each other? When your hands are lonely, why are we reaching for the hands of a stranger? When you're feeling lonely, where's your tribe? Where are your people at? And these questions aren't questions to be answered. I don't have the answer. It's just dialogue again with the soul. And when we're dialoguing together with the soul, not only are we dialoguing with our own souls, we're dialoguing with each other's soul, which is still a mirror. To whom shall we speak to? Jeanette Oye,
Oh, you did perfect. I have nothing to add to what
just
you.
your thoughts in reference to the text today. How are you feeling in reference to the unity or lack thereof?
Um. Well, so in some instances, it can be a little sad. Sad to see the harmony and the disunity within the community. But at the same time, it's a beautiful thing to see once we get past all of the woes or whatever and we come together, and it just proves that we can indeed come together. We can indeed, in fact, be community. Um, with like just being able to get over things and move forward and stuff, and to see all of the shrines or majority of the shrines come together and be in harmony. That was a real beautiful thing. And I only say that because for the longest, like, I've only known about the shrine of Mayat, studio, the shrine of Ptah, uh Infudishi Shrine, and Temple of Anu. I only knew of those. So to find out about the others, best, there was a shrine of Mayat before this shrine of Mayat. To learn about that was amazing too, because it's more of us out here. It's more of us out here than we think and know. So I think as it's our duty as Kemites or uh, practitioners to you know find the rest of us that are out here, and build this community and make it stronger and better, not just for us, but I mean, like, for Bible too, because this was one of his dreams, one of his things that he wanted to see within our community, us come together and stuff. And I
Absolutely.
believe we can do it.
That was proof in the pudding that we can definitely do it. You
Yes.
know, I more than believe it. I more than believe it. How do you feel about that, Himnetter?
Well, as it said, the text really brings it all out. If we look at section 2, so whom shall I speak to today? The one doing wrong is an intimate friend, and the brother with whom one used to deal is an enemy. No one remembers the past, and no one return the good deed that is done. Brothers and sisters are evil, and people turn to strangers for righteousness or affection. To whom shall I speak to today? Faces are empty, and all turn their faces from their brothers and sisters. Hearts are great with greed, and there is no heart of a man or woman upon which one might lean. None are just or righteous, and the land is left to the doers of evil. So we, being the righteous one, we should safeguard the right. right thing. So it says at the bottom, it says, "There is no end to the wrong which roams the earth." So we're being the caretakers of the righteousness. So we are here to bring that forth and do that. And so that is in our soul to be righteous about what we ought to do and how, and we should be the example for everybody to look at.
Right. That's right. So I think that it's important that we continue to charge. In other words, you know, as
Definitely,
Bobby used to
definitely.
say, the charge. You know, and continue to charge. And I think just like you said, him Netter, we're obligated. You know, we didn't just make an oath to the shrine or to the Kemetic legacy. We made an oath to our own spirit, our own Ma'akeru, our own Asar and Aset. You know what I mean? And that question, to whom shall I speak to? I think that we can all agree that the answer is in the doing, just like what we're doing. We are speaking, you know what I mean? And even when you notice the so-called disunity, speaking of it, speaking it up, you know, again, heka, words are powerful. What's in the tongue is powerful. So speaking on it gives motivation to close that gap, to create the smile Tawi, even if it has to be done virtually. You know what I mean? We need to do more. It's great that a lot of members of the Shrine of Ma'at are having the annual reunions, but we need to really delve into having annual events that are geared to the Kemetic festivals. You know, the Temple of Anu was once doing the Wepran Pet, the New Year. I'm not sure if they're still doing it, but it was I got to go to a couple of them. It needs to be things annually that all the Kemetic communities can come together. Not all the time, but every year there should be something, so that this unity that is in a discussion of doing something annually around the new year and around Baba's birthday. This will be a time that we can continue coming together as a full community. Um, just like you said, Sinet Oye, it was amazing. We saw people, the lady Amiyata, Moot
Yes.
Amiyata,
Yes.
and Kamor. I think
Yes.
she had the shrine of Sekhmet. These were 6 women after Baba Heru out of the shrine of Ptah, and they were called the Mbutu. Each of them had their own shrine. It wasn't necessarily a physical temple. And keep in mind, saying a shrine doesn't mean a physical house. The shrine is always in your heart. Your altar is with you everywhere you go. It's in your heart. So wherever you are, so shall the Netaru be. You know what I mean? So uh, whether you're in the hospital, on a sick bed, that altar is right there with you. That shrine is right there with you. So it's important that we do the temple work, so to speak, even if it's symbolic or if it's our thoughts, you know what I mean? They become actions, words, such, and so forth. But if you gotta, just an example, you got a sling on your arm right now. Symbolically, you're still able to do the pose of adoration. You know what I mean? If you had no limbs and they were cut off, your mind is still in the pose of adoration. You know what I mean? Him Netter, a week or so ago, he's in the hospital, but don't think that shrine wasn't right there with him, and that the altar wasn't being tended to while he was there. Him Netter on mess. We did see that he recently completed his first week of chemo and radiation. Best believe that altar was being tended to, and that shrine was in full effect and alive.
He was also in the building.
In the building,
Hmm.
looking good. Had he never told us about his surgery, you can't look at him and he looks the same. You don't. So your shrine is wherever you are. So is your altar. We tend to, need to accumulate things. I got to build an altar. That's great, but your altar is here. And you can find this in any spiritual religious text. One of them, I know the Christian text said the kingdom of heaven is inside of you and all around you, not etched in stone or in building. Lift a piece of wood and you will find me. Split a stone and I am there. So if you're looking for God, If you're looking for the Netaru, you found it. You found him, her, whatever energy you're looking for, it's within. So it's with you wherever you go, which means you should be able to commune and fellowship with whomever and wherever. There should always be unity wherever you go. And if it's not, then it's probably a place that we shouldn't be. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, and it says, Heru is understood here as a force of restoration, the power that reconciles what has been divided within the self, within the society, and this is how we can have. This is how Heru can act through us. We call this Dwa R Hrw, which is praise to Heru. Praise to the day, praise to the Neter Heru. However you want to look at it, it's the same. But we're spending a day and an hour or however long we are here each Sunday giving praise, giving thanks, giving adoration to what we are doing, and hopefully inspiring others to have that feeling within as well. You know, and we've got to support each other, not just within, but as a whole. We've got to support each other. That is how we show up. That is how unity is created. Like I said, I've got to go to a couple of the Temple of Anis, and like you said, I had no idea of all these other shrines or even all these people that were connected. I know you saw some of the famous people. Grand Poobah was there. Erica Badu was there. I mean,
Oh, y'all should have heard her yelp. Erica Badu.
I know, and I was like,
I'm
trying to
like,
be like, not to be starstruck because I didn't realize, we were busy, Cassie. We were seeing people do. So I never really I wasn't really looking into the faces of people. We were doing what we were there for, serving, and trying to actually see some of the ceremony as we were working. So then, oh my gosh.
yes. And it was like she looked right at us. It felt like.
So it was and that tells you that that man touched so many spirits.
Mhm.
So many spirits. The tributes, if you guys have check out some of those tributes, I mean, it was extremely heartfelt. And because we're in this legacy, we're obligated. That's our charge to continue bringing that energy. You know what I mean? So figuring out how we can come together like that annually is amazing. I look forward to what's to come, and I hope that the energy stays high, and Baba's spirit continues to be the driving force in all of us. You know what I mean? It was
Abs-
right. The dancers, I mean, everything, everything. You know.
yes.
So
Need to keep the legacy alive because if I mean, and we need to learn some of these things too because it will die with our elders. You know,
right,
if we don't pick up our aunt and walk and learn it for the next generation and the next generations to come. You know,
right,
I mean, I know we're creators, so we can create new things too, but I think it's important to hold on to the ancient as well, because from that is how we get the new or whatever. And I don't. A lot of our stuff has already died with elders before they got a chance to pass it on. So like we know about them, but we don't know like what it looked like or how it sound like when you think about like the meta netter or whatever, um, before like when they were figuring out the sounds and stuff, we didn't know what the sounds was. We didn't have anything really to compare it to into except for like the Coptic. I think
hmm
it's what they use to compare like the sounds and stuff. So now we kind of have an idea what those sounds sound like.
hmm
So if we could save whatever else we have access to today for our next generation, I think that'll be a beautiful thing. You won't have to
that's
work
right,
so hard, maybe, or whatever.
right. And
Oh
you know,
my,
a lot
yo,
of our generations, we might have had opportunities to sit at the feet of elders and just chose not to do so. In the
mm,
moments, maybe, you know, we were busy being young and not really, you know, who knows. But you're right, you know, and as we are becoming those elders, you know, we're getting stepping on the line of becoming those elders. We definitely have to be the storytellers to let them know, to make sure that we are able to pass what we do know from the ancient times so that it can be built in the modern times, just like you said. I think that's crucial, you know, um, to continue the legacy, and what's built upon that can only be in greater divinity, you know what I mean, as time goes on, but never forgetting uh, Sankofa, never forgetting where it came from, never forgetting the most, you know, critical pieces that we can hold on to, such as these texts and different rituals and things like that. You
absolutely.
know. Okay, so as far as announcements go, not very much. Oh, I hope that uh, I saw that Seba Orokoku, he did put a copy of the program on the page for folks to print out, and I thought that was really great that he did that. So those of you who didn't have an opportunity to go, if you look on the Shrine of Ma'at page, you can see every page of the program that he put out there, and you can print it out and keep it on your shrine. It was a beautiful program, well put together. I mean, it was, and there was a lot on there, and it was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Um, so that was great. Announcement that I have. So for our, as you all know, it's private. We go live private on our Shrine page, but it's also live on YouTube on uh, my page, which is Shinka Show Enough of Kemet. All right. I have there is a WhatsApp group that originally started from the committee that the outreach committee that was helping host Baba's celebration of life. Well, now they have transferred that WhatsApp group for all Kemetic community members to be able to be involved, say what's going on, send invites, whatever you might be doing in the community. There's a safe space that you can communicate with all Kemetic shrines, priestesses, and priests from all over the country. Some are even out of the country. So they did keep that channel open for communication. So there's a network there that you can network and meet other Kemites. Like Kazi said, so many things that we didn't know and people that we didn't even know existed until now. So WhatsApp, there is a group. If you're interested, you can let me know and I can add you to it. The more the merrier. I have notified that group that we do this on Sundays because, again, this is not intended to be just for the Shrine of Ma'at. We here are Shrine of Ma'at members, and what we do is in representation of that. But this should be a space for the Kemetic community. It's a session of adoration. It's not a teaching session. We just spend some moments giving adoration and praise. So it should be open. The YouTube channel is open for those to watch who choose to watch it. I even get feedback that people go back and watch our lives later. So hopefully that is this what we're doing here is also our initiation or our charge in bringing the community together. You know what I mean? As we do this every Sunday. You know, some days maybe we'll have a hymn netter or a hymn netter or someone from another shrine that may come on and read or even, give words of adoration, whatever. But again, it's not a space for teaching. It's just to give adoration and for, so I think that that's exciting too, that we can communicate and fellowship that way across the board. So we leave that space open to be available for people. That's really the only announcement that I have. But I know we mentioned, but again, prayers always, always for Himnetter Wasiri and Himnetter Ames and anyone else out there that may be going through something, whether it be financial, medical, spiritual, mental. Just know that, our thoughts are always with all of you. If we don't know, then we include you anyway. But we know that Himnetter Waziri was in the hospital just under a week ago. And Kazi, you were right. He showed right up to that thing like nothing ever happened. two-stepping. He was like,
I am here. Okay, nothing was going to stop him from being in the building.
yeah. He strutted up in there like, hey, move over, bacon. So that was great, you know. And as soon as he walked in, Steve, I said, "There goes your man." Not in a that way, but he knows that that's he's Waziri's one of my mentors, and with outreach for the Shrine of Ma'at, we've stayed connected and trying to do what we can to keep keep our shrine community and things like that intact, and making sure that we reach out to people and things like that. So him Netter over the years,
Shrine
he's
oil,
been
like a car. You know how you
yeah,
have to make sure your oil is in the car, the antifreeze, and all of that good stuff. That's what y'all making sure that we are still running and moving and operating
yeah.
and coming together, bringing the shrine together.
He's been over the years. I mean, such an inspiration to me. I gained. I would say uncle, but he's more of a brother. And his wife, Sinette Terra. Oh my goodness. Sometimes we call each other just so we can fuss about you, Himnetter, because you don't like to listen, just like my husband don't like to listen.
You got to see my daughter, right?
Yes, I did.
Right.
Yes, she's so grown. Oh my gosh, 20. Was she 24?
24.
Oh, and the grandbaby. Oh my gosh, she is so
And
adorable.
well, that's
That's your
Jeanette
cousin.
Sarah's cousin.
Oh, the
The little
cousin.
sweet girl.
Yes, but she's so adorable.
Yeah. She just wanted to hug, and I'm like, oh, this it's you that I've been hearing about. So yes.
That's the truth.
But oh my goodness. And she, I mean, always got to give praise to Sinette Terra, because I know that I'm a wife in the same way that she is for a man like you that don't like to listen, that got health issues, and you'll never want to do right. And we got to,
Well,
yeah, I deal with the same thing.
we want to give thanks to the Nether for the fact of the women in our lives. It's so
Yes,
important.
indeed. I tell you what, y'all drive us up a wall.
Right. Right. And thanks to the Nether that keeps you down and level.
That's
That's
right. That's right. I wouldn't have it any other way, though. I know she feels the same way about you that I do about him. As sometimes, as hard as it may be, love that man to death, and I wouldn't have it any other way. You know what I mean? So even when he don't listen, I just prepared that. Yeah, we're about to have an argument then, because you're gonna listen today. I'm not trying to be your boss, but I know you looking down, so you're gonna have to today. Something's gonna have to give, and I know she goes through that, with me too. But I go through it with him, and it gets better with time. You both know that we do what we do all out of love. My husband knows it, which is why he would take me to a place and sit somewhere all day and allow me to do my thing. You know what I mean? So, and so does yours,
I
Kathy.
just wanted to bring your attentions to the comments because we didn't
I
acknowledge
was
any.
looking and I didn't see any. I'm glad you see some, because only thing I see is our sin James Chris saying Hatep Abet, and I see our Dati from Benue, William Humphrey, Anke Ma'at, and I see Jason. That's all I see. Did you see more comments?
Um, so Dottie William Humphrey said that the reading sounds like it came from the author's personal experience. The people closest to us have the sharpest swords, and that was due to the reading. And then James Chris Limba says the dialogue initiates the answer.
Uh-huh.
I would suggest quarterly for our shrine.
Where are these comments at?
Um,
You keep going, please, then.
uh, Jotty said, "Add me to the WhatsApp group."
Wonderful.
And he said, "Mur mur mur." And James also said, "Add me as well, or send me a link."
Got it. Okay. Okay. Dang, I didn't see any of those comments. I was in there looking. Well, thank you, Dua, for that. Let's see. Any more?
That's all I see. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. Um, it's Sanjay saying he said Uncle might out of bed. Yep, that's pretty much that's it.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. I definitely will. And see if I can figure out a way to post that WhatsApp group too on the page to see if you can, because I know you can add members like by their phone number, but I should be able to post the
The link,
link
and they
on the
should be able
page.
to join by
Hmm.
the link.
Got it. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, before we close out, this is good, a good conversation to and what he said that what he said about the answer was in the text. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. And that was the purpose of the text. It was more so reading it like saying, you know what I mean? To whom shall I speak to? You know what I mean? The answer was there. So I definitely agree 100% with that. And maybe you're right in reference to the author's own experience. That is true. Um, because I haven't totally experienced the disunity, but experience the unity is at that magnitude was amazing. And I want more. I'm hungry for more of that.
And then just to think about the text and how long ago that it was written, and how valid, and how it shows up in today. It's a word that I'm looking for, but it's not there. So, but the point is, it's still in our future. You know, they was talking about this back then in ancient times, but we're still living some of this stuff out in today's times, as far as the trust and the community, and the betrayal from friends, and like your foes, and your family and stuff like that. So it's still very much relevant in today, in 2025, as it was back in before it was a 2025.
True, true, true. Facts. Okay. So let's see. All right, no more announcements. All right. Well, which of you two would like to close us out in prayer? Himnetter, you haven't said too much today. How about you close us out in prayer? It doesn't have to necessarily be a text. You can, be whatever's on your heart.
Well, well, if you can hear me, we want to bring bring our thoughts and our hearts together so that we can pray for those that need it. And it's those that are close to our hearts and to our minds. So we pray for them to heal and get better as we go forth. And we thank you for the week celebration that we had for Baba Ru. And as we are Kemites, and particularly practitioners, we look forward to what we are able to do and what we are doing today. So we ask that the Netaru will come into our lives and be able to heal those persons that need the healing. And we thank you for the fact that we send our myrrh and how much we care about them. And we are praying for those that we don't know, and the same that we need to have the myrrh to go out to those that we do know. So we thank you for all that you have done, and we look forward to. So we say, do another, Amr.
Do a letter. Do a letter. All right. Wonderful. All right. We don't need to I think there in that moment, even though I didn't pull my scale out, even though it's right here with us, I think we literally did just balance our scales. So I'll say, may we listen to the voice of the soul, restore what has been divided, and walk eternally in Ma'at, Ankh Uja Saneb, to all of you and us. Much more, as of course. Dua to you both. I look forward to next week and everything else to come. Also, you guys look out. I mean, it's early, but I want to make sure to announce it early. We are going to be having a monthly meeting for January. So look out for that information. We'll keep announcing it and making sure that that information gets out early so that we can get as many as our members on that meeting as possible, so we can discuss, some things that'll be coming up in the future and different ideas as a collective to see, where we stand and where we're going. Okay. And with that, If there's no, is there anything else that you two need to add or want to add? All right. Well, at that, I say Shimon Ma'at. Much more to you all until next week.